When you discovered the law of attraction, you started to believe anything was possible. Life got better, much better. Now you want more, but it's not working. That's where the Manifest It Now show comes in. If you've been waiting for someone who can teach you the practical application to manifest quicker and easier while having more, turn the volume up, because the dynamic duo, Cassie Parks and Ginny Gain, are ready to teach you how to live the law of attraction like they do. It's time to laugh and learn.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Manifest It Now. I'm here with Cassie Parks.
And I'm here with Ginny Gain.
Our topic for today, we're going to talk about how to leverage LOA in business.
Yes. Oh, I love this topic.
It's actually what I'm excited about. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, fits right into this.
Awesome.
I'm excited about where my business is going right now in terms of like the deliberateness or the choice or how it feels. So I was just telling Cassie this before, but I'm getting ready to like invest in some different marketing stuff for the business. And in the past, it's always felt like work. And this was the first time, or it felt like sticky, or it felt like I had to do that. That was the biggest thing. It felt like somebody outside was saying, you have to do this to build your business. And because I've experienced, 4 or 5 years of my business growing naturally, easily, and beautifully, I don't have that same belief that I have to do that. And so now when I'm like, oh, well, you're going to be successful either way. What do you want to do? What feels more fun? And for the first time, it felt super fun and exciting to have a plan, to have a project, to have a goal that, I don't love that word, but a goal that you're aiming towards, a vision for it. And so that's what I'm excited about. And it just fits perfectly in to what we're going to talk about today.
Yay. I love that.
What are you excited about?
I am excited about business as well. And I'm excited about the same thing and how, I'm super excited because this spurred because I realized something and I saw something in a different business and I could pick it out and I could see how it was different for my business. And I'm super excited about that because I also I have a business Enchanted circle, and so those people are also growing and stepping into their business, which is so fun. And I'm super excited about where my business is. I just outlined, I have a big I have a big reveal coming up. I'm doing something really fun in November for my Freedomversary and offering something new. And really for the last year, I've been able to see my business, at least the marketing, the market, all of it, the plan for the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
And in an easy, in a way where it feels like the universe just rolled out the red carpet and said, just this is where you're going. Mm-hmm. Not in a oh my gosh, I have to figure this out way, but in a very oh, this is what's going to happen. And then this is going to happen. And then this is evolved. So a lot of the pieces that were what we probably would have entitled one-off inspirations in the last 3 to 5 years for me are now all coming together in this big, huge picture. Mm-hmm. And that is so fun.
Yeah, it's so fun. And when you jump on the phone, you're like, oh, I just did things for the next 5 years. I'm like, huh? All right, you got it.
And I'm like, it took me 45 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was funny. But I really think there's still a very strong idea and belief out there that business is hard and building your business is hard. And it's so important to me personally to be breaking that reality. I would never describe building my business as hard. I mean, I would say there's been some stuff, but when I look at it overall, the growth has been so natural. It's been so fun. It's been so fulfilling. And I think more and more people are getting there. And I am so happy that Cassie and I are one of the examples of that, because a lot of people out there will say, you know, you don't have to hustle, build a business without hustling. And they're still hustling, you know, they're still working crazy hours. You know, maybe that's not in me to judge because maybe they love that. So I guess defining what hustle or hard work means to you would be a good place if you're a business owner or heading in that direction.
Yes. I was actually going to say, like, oh, we should define hustle and we should do a whole episode on that. Because it is, like, and there were a lot of, as you were saying that, like, in the beginning, there was a lot of, even my friends were like, you got to keep hustling. You got to be hustling the whole time. I'm like, no, that is not the way. And for me, I will say, like, you can say, which I love because we're different, you can say my business has never been hard. Like, I always divide my business, if you've been listening for a while, into two parts. There's, like, before I left my job and there's after I left my job. And before I left my job was very hard. And maybe it's not even that, well, because I just put a pause on building my business right before I left my job because I knew I was going to have time and space to do it. But that part was hard, and it was because I was doing it wrong. And it was because I believed it had to be hard.
Yeah.
And it wasn't working.
Yeah.
Also, it wasn't working. It was really hard because it wasn't working as well. But, like, this is way better. I mean, first of all, I make way more money and have way more fun.
So it depends on your priorities in life. If you want to have fun
and make more money, like,
and make more money,
it's everybody's own choice. But yeah, it's way easier this way.
Yeah, I think that's actually one of the first things to examine is, hey, what's my belief? How to leverage LOA in your business is first examine this belief of, like, what do I believe is the process? Because if we don't attend to that, or at least open up that belief, or starting to, you know, write a new experience, we're naturally going to create from that place. And
we are.
Yeah. And so start there. What do I think is true? What do I think is a reality for how this goes?
And I'm going to add to that. Oh, there's so many things. So I want to share this story. Like, I actually, perfect timing. I was interviewed by someone yesterday, and the interview will come out in November. It was Patty Lennon. I was like, oh, I have to, like, not share her name, but she interviewed me and she's going to put it out there. And what she was saying is, you know, she had that belief that work hard. And so she manifested a year's salary to go out and start her job, or go out and start her business. But she had that belief, like, it's hard to make money and it's hard, you know, business is hard. And so she worked really hard for $2,000 for a year. Right. And then her money was gone because she came from her corporate job with that belief that business is hard. And that's what she executed. She worked really hard and she didn't make any money, or she made $2,000. So I think that plays into it. And I want to add to examine your belief. And then I want to say examine your behavior, because your behavior is it's going to help you understand your belief. Because you can go in and you can be like, yeah, money can be easy. We don't have to work hard for it. Or business can be easy. Right. But then your behavior might say something different.
I love that because sometimes our beliefs aren't so apparent to us unless we're super aware, and your behaviors are always going to reflect what you believe to be true. So
yes,
that's such a good practical way to do this. Can we give an example of that? So say we believe it's working or building a business is hard, or let's use a little differently. So I have to market what's I can't even think of an old belief I used to have.
Right. I have to get out there and market a lot.
I have to talk to a lot of people, maybe, or I have to do cold calls. Like, that's
I have
the
to
thing.
be on. Oh, cold calls. Oh,
yeah. Sometimes, you know, realtors or people and
yeah, that's true. Yep.
Yeah, do a cold calling,
right.
And a lot of people don't like doing that. But there's
right.
your people above you who are saying this is how you have to do it. You have to do cold calls, and you're like, but I don't want to. And so your behavior, if you're doing them, then you are showing yourself through that behavior that you think you need to. but you're not in alignment with it. So it's not going to get you those results. Like if you're taking action that you don't like doing, you're not leveraging the law of attraction.
Say that again. If you are taking action that you don't like doing, you are not leveraging the law of attraction.
Yeah, you're not in your power. And
no.
I would say, tell me if you agree with this, Cass, that you can still reach goals and outcomes and be quote unquote successful doing that.
Absolutely. And I will say, I don't know this to be true, but I think it's true for some people. I think I would fail at it. And I think that, I talk about the quick, slow way and the slow, quick way. Mm-hmm. And I believe that it might take you a little bit longer because you're setting a foundation. You're creating energy. Mm-hmm. You're really laying the foundation, right? Mm-hmm. I think you might be able to reach a goal faster with just like brute force and a lot of action. I don't think that's always true. I think it's one possibility.
Yeah.
But I absolutely 100% believe you can reach your goals, which I would never set because I do intentions. But and we should probably talk about that in business too, right? But I think you can doing it using LOA and leveraging LOA. Now, does it take some attention and awareness and dedication? Yes.
Yeah. When you say that, I think that maybe, so the hard way, when you said you can work your way there and it might get faster. Do you think that maybe only happens the first time and then,
Ooh.
Yeah, right? Like for some reason I'm thinking of athletics. And so if there's, say you want to get this time on a race, and you can work and you can train and you can go harder and harder and harder. And that first result is going to show that. It's going to match what you wanted. But if you keep doing that to your body, you don't keep getting better and better. It becomes harder and harder. It's more wear and tear on your body. It's more stress on you. You don't like it more and more. So it gets harder and harder and you don't get those same results. So
yes,
this might be applicable. And I think sometimes a lot of people do this in terms of like, okay, I am going to work really hard. I'm going to work hard for my first 5 years and then I'm going to coast. And maybe, firstly, coasting is a funny thing because there's always more, right?
Right.
Once you get to that 5-year mark or 5-year success, you're going to want more. You don't ever leave your vibration around, like leave your vibration. You always take it with you. So if you're just trying to get to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, when you think you're there, you're just going to keep wanting the next thing. I was going to say with that, but sometimes you could use work to help your alignment. And it's totally a choice. You do not have to do this. You can 100% like build your business based on inspiration and ease and flow. But you can use hard work or action and hustle to maybe like help amp your belief that it's possible to like ease the alignment, to help you get into alignment sometimes. So say someone has told you and you believe, if I call 100 people, I'm going to get 10 clients. And so even though it doesn't feel good, you take the action and you get the 10 clients. And it's not because you did the action, it's because your belief was aligned with that action that got you the results. And taking a step back, sometimes it's easier to do that instead of believing in, hey, I only need to talk to the people I want to, or I only need to do this, and I'll get that same result. Does that make sense, Cass?
Yeah, I think what you're saying is that there's a choice. Like there's multiple ways this works, right? Mm-hmm. And it doesn't always have to be just sit and be who you are, which I think is often when we say like be and you'll just attract the people. I think that's the image that comes is like, if I just sit on a park bench, all my clients will come to me.
Right.
I guarantee someone has a story of when they're sitting on a park bench and attracted a client, but I guarantee that's a thing. But sometimes it's harder to believe in that possibility and that way of doing it than it is to believe that the action will get you there. And so what you're saying is that
exactly,
it's wherever the belief is the easiest is where you should go, because that is wherever the strongest belief is where the best result is going to be.
Yes, exactly. So trust your beliefs, but in the meantime, in the background, be working on the beliefs you want to be true, so that you don't just keep creating the same, having to follow those same old beliefs. Now that we're talking about it like this, I think this is why I had a very strong belief before I started my business in the law of attraction, which is why it worked so well for me. So I didn't need to, I obviously still had stuff to get through and move through and stuff, but that's why my belief was already there when I started this. And so that's why it worked for me.
Yes, I 100% say that. And I can see like a lot of examples in your life where I think there were things that were easier, or you got things like not necessarily quicker.
Things came easy and quick. It's fine to say
that.
Like one of the best
then
examples
for me, and it is that.
One of the best examples is our podcast. Like when I started my business, or I started going through the business building modules of the core of the certification, and somebody else is telling me, hey, you have to do this, you have to put yourself out there, and you have to, talk to these people or whatever. And I'm like, no, I like total resistance. I don't need to do what you say. I'm like, the law of attraction will take care of this for me. And then obviously Cassie's like, hey, you want to start a podcast? I'm like, oh, sure, that sounds fun. Nervous, but fun. And then it wasn't until probably a year later that I realized, oh, this is the consistent, valuable, value that we're offering to the marketplace or the industry. And I was like, oh, that's what people are telling me that I needed to do.
Yes. And I will say, being inspired to because I started my other podcast, I started More Money, and then I was like, hey, I want to do this with Jenny for fun, right? Both were inspired in a little bit different ways. I'm totally convinced that's why I have two podcasts, is because this one was 100% inspiration. That one was somewhat inspired, but it's just learning it two different ways. Like I can literally take the podcast and like piece out like this one has always been inspired, right? And that one I've had to bring myself sometimes back to inspiration, and I've had to filter other people's stuff. But back to what you're saying, yes, this is like that consistently getting out there and doing that. And if you line yourself up enough, that opportunity shows up. But when we're out there like trying to find, and most of the time, let's face it, you're resisting in the general, or was resisting a lot of things, right? Like, like getting out there and so what I'm trying to say is that a lot of times we put a lot of energy in resisting things, which creates more stuff to show up to resist. Yes. Right? Whereas you were like, nope, I'm not doing, like you didn't even entertain it for a second, which is, I will tell you, is not the skill that I had developed when I started my business. I had different amazing skills. Like I could totally trust that people would pay me when I did a pay after you manifest thing, and that I'd make money, right? And so just different places where we're really strong in our beliefs in the law of attraction. I think that's important. But yeah, you were really clear on that. I haven't always been clear on that.
And so getting and understanding what you want your business to feel like. I mean, I know this sounds very simple. We talk about this all the time, but that is a place to start. So if ease isn't important to everybody. Some people like to work hard. And so that's fine. And like, it might be like work hard and short, and that might be your thing. And so still getting clear on how you want the process to feel like is going to be important for you, because it's going to come from that. Your experience is going to come from that. I was just saying to Cassie earlier how I've had a few, not new realizations, just acknowledging how, oh my gosh, everything I wanted is real for me now. And I was like, it doesn't, it just feels normal. It feels very natural. It doesn't feel like magic or like, I mean, it just feels normal. I'm like, but I'm very aware that it was deliberate, that I'm here because of everything I've focused on and my, discipline on staying tuned to the vision and honoring myself and reflecting and going through all the feelings and all of that. And it's
and editing
all
the
part of
vision when you
process.
got off path. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to, like, because we both had to do that, but that's also part of it, right? Staying true to the vision and realizing when you veer off and come back.
Yes. And veering off for me is trying to do something I wasn't in alignment with. I've tried to do marketing before because I thought it was supposed to happen, and it wasn't the way, didn't have the outcomes I had hoped for because I was still more in the, I should do this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even when I think of where LOA Skills Camp started, it was just, I think I've told the story before, but it was like a 5-page, $11 PDF you could buy. And it has turned into like the core of my business, and it's everything it's all of that wrapped up in that, my message out into the world. And it's like transforms so many people from like victim to deliberate creator. And I had zero idea it would ever take that path. When I remember exactly where I was when I was sitting on the couch, and I asked myself the question, well, what do you want people to know? And I'm like, this. And it created it in like that afternoon, and it's taken its own path, basically.
Yes. That's the same with Manifest 10K, which is has a new name. But I want to come back to this LOA Skills Camp because I want to talk about the belief, right? So when you put up LOA Skills Camp, first I want to highlight, that was an assignment, right? So it was something that it wasn't?
No, I was just...
It wasn't a coaching assignment?
Mm-mm. I don't think...
for some reason,
not
I
what I
told me
remember.
it was.
Not from what I remember, but maybe I'm retelling the story.
That's awesome. Okay, well, we'll get back to you guys. We'll discuss this after, and we'll remember, and then we'll discuss it. So anyway, I remember when Jenny launched it, and you really thought like you were gonna make millions of dollars off your $11, right? Like people were just gonna come buy it, right?
Hundreds of thousands of people are gonna come buy this. It's gonna be the best.
Right. But what I want to say about that is that belief that what went out into the world is still coming true. Like you just said it, right? Like it is evolved. It's become your core business thing. It's taken on, it's changed people's lives. It will continue to change people's lives. It will continue to make money. Yep. And so even if how much did you make when you first launched it?
Oh, I don't know, under $100. But and
I think
was like
I bought
the first one to buy it. It was amazing. Cassie and my family.
You're right.
My
so
friends,
all the people 70% of the people bought it in support of you.
Yeah.
Maybe 100, I don't know. Because that's why I bought it. I was like, I'm going to give her a sale. Like that's, I want to be supportive, right? And yet, like, it's still true. It doesn't matter that it didn't happen in that moment. It's still like the belief, like if you don't, because Jenny never went like, I know you didn't, like go into some like despair and story about how what you put into the world, like none of that BS, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, okay, how do I open up to more?
Yeah.
What's next, right? And so you didn't like shut down the energy of that thing, and it was allowed to grow and become what the original belief intention was of it. It was allowed to go out in the world and grow into what it needs to grow in to make you more money.
Exactly.
And help more people, and help the amount of people that you wanted to help.
Mm-hmm. And it's such a great example of whatever you're putting out there, is never wasted. It's if you are inspired and excited about it, or you just want to put it out, and you do, just make that the most important thing, that I'm putting this out there. I'm doing this. I'm starting this. And let go of the outcome of it, because it will, your intention with it, the energy that goes into that, the ideas, the dream, it is on its way to manifesting. Just don't judge how it shows up, and it will happen faster.
Yes.
There was so many millions of pieces in between that and today. And there's zero, like beyond, less than zero chance I could have ever planned or predicted it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
What else do you want to talk about? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, when it comes to my business, then I look at the same things, and I look at like Manifest 10K. I could have never predicted, because it was so easy. It was easy and it was fun. But I could have never predict, or maybe actually I did. I take that back. I did predict. I scripted it. I scripted all of the success that is happened from the beginning with it on. I did create that.
You predicted the success, but not the path.
Right, not the path.
Yeah.
I just followed the path, right? And the path has evolved the same as LOA, right? It was, ask my intuition. Okay, how much is this cost? Oh, pay after you manifest. Great. Follow that path until that path ended, and then take the different road, right? And then do this, and then follow inspiration over here. Just keep following the path.
Yeah. And you don't know, you only get access to the path in that moment. You can't say, in 4 months, I'm going to choose to go down that path, or I'm going to make that decision. Just look at right now. Just look at right now, and keep it simple, and trust the energy you're putting in now.
Yeah. It's actually one of the things I'll catch my clients on when I know, like, because we've talked before, I'm sure we'll talk again, how like things can start inspired, but then they can sort of get into the how and get out of inspiration.
Yes.
And one of the ways I know that my clients have left Inspirationville is if they start like, and then this will happen, and then this will happen, and this. Nope. It's about creating what you know now.
Yeah. That's good. All right. What else do you want to say on leveraging LOA in your business?
Well, it's interesting because we didn't even like get to our original topic.
I know.
So I'd say we're going to talk more about this. We are also like, planning some sort of business series, behind the scenes look for us. But I will say is you always have a choice, and you got to choose it over and over again. If you want it to be easy, which is both a theme for Jenny and I, you have to choose it, and you have to keep choosing it. And it's a myth that you have to do a bunch of things that you don't like. Like we've both built business. Like there isn't a thing I don't like doing in my business. Sometimes I have like, it's a little tighter deadline than I want, or I have to do something. But actually, but it doesn't matter. It's still easy. Like it's still like when I have 5 minutes left to do it, inspiration flows. Like
yeah.
And that's few and far between. But you can build it easy, but you have to keep choosing easy. You can't choose what someone else is telling you. You have to keep choosing what you want.
I love it. I remember when I got on the phone with a client and she was like, okay, but really, is there anything you do? Like, you don't really like everything you do to build your business, do you? And I'm like, and at that time, this was a few years ago, and there was still, I don't know, maybe 10% of things. And I was like, well, 90% of the things I really love. 10% I'm still lining up with. I would say like over the time, as I find more and more alignment with and belief with easy, successful business, it gets easier and easier and more successful. So like allowing that to unfold, allowing your belief to build strength and momentum based on what you're choosing to observe is super helpful.
Yep. And when you're at that point, it's just choosing easy, right? Allows you to see how it can be easy because it's all shaped by your beliefs.
Mm-hmm. I just love this idea too. It's just coming up like allow yourself to grow into being successful instead of I have to be successful now. there's completely different vibrations. Like, what if we're just like, wow, this business is an opportunity for me to grow into more and more success, being more and more successful. What a gift, what an opportunity for me.
That changes everything.
Changes everything.
Right? Because everything becomes an opportunity to grow. Everything is celebrating growth instead of where you're not at or how much harder you have to work or all this other stuff.
Those are opposites. Did you guys get that? So instead of approaching the business as like, I have to do this and what did you say, Cass? I have to do this and what you need to do versus like what I get to do and this opportunity. Yeah. It's opposite vibrations. It's like going in with resistance or going in with allowing and openness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know. I just have this like, I just want to throw my arms open and be like, yes, like allow me to grow into that person and please take me down that path and let it be easy. But also like, you know, growth can feel hard sometimes, but there's a difference between growth and working hard.
Yeah. I have a feeling most of our listeners, we didn't even get to defining that. I have a feeling most of our listeners love and actually like that feeling of growth. I like knowing I'm, expanding. I like knowing you're more than you were before. And take that into your business and you're going to skyrocket because, it will just fall into your lap if you go into it with that openness, like, yes, 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 yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with that. They probably want that because I want that. You want that. I can't wait to talk about business more on future episodes.
There's so much. That was it. There's so many different topics we could talk about.
I know.
All right. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye.
Go be awesome. Thank you for joining us on the Manifest It Now show, where you learn how to leverage the law of attraction to manifest your dreams. Now that you're inspired, share the love and review us on iTunes. While you're there, remember to subscribe.